The 14th of October, 2022. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The 911 call lasted 27 seconds. A dispatcher's voice, calm but urgent. "Ma'am, what's your emergency?" Static. Ragged breathing. Then a whisper, trembling, raw with terror. "He's in there. He's with something dead." A crash. A scream-sharp primal cut, short by a sickening thud. The line went silent. Danielle Scott thought she'd married a quiet man. A faithful man. Xavier Merritt, 41. Accountant. Mama's boy, never drank. Never partied. Never raised his voice. He was polite, stable. The kind of man who insisted on waiting until marriage. But the house always smelled wrong. Not just musky. Rotting. Like something wet and decayed festered behind the walls. She lit candles. Scrubbed floors. Ignored how Xavier vanished nightly into a locked storage room, emerging hours later with dirt under his nails and a hollow stare. Then came the 14th of October. The stench thickened, suffocating, clawing at her throat. She found the key, turned the lock. Inside, a mattress stained black, clothes that weren't hers. And Xavier, cradling it, bloated, rotting, human. The cops arrived to a house silent as a grave, no movement, just the drag of something heavy across splintered floorboards. When they kicked in the door, the smell hit first a wall of decay. Flashlights cut through the dark. What they found wasn't meant to be seen by the living. How does a man hide monsters in broad daylight? And why did his mother insist he was just different? Some secrets fester in locked rooms, others bury themselves in plain sight. To our loyal subscribers, both new and long-time followers, thank you. Your support fuels our mission to uncover stories that chill, shock, and haunt. If you're here for the first time, welcome. You've just stepped into the darkest corners of the true crime world. Smash that subscribe button because what you're about to hear, it's not for the faint of heart. This case, it's raw, it's real, and it's exclusive to this channel. Share it, like it, and ring the bell because when the truth is this twisted, you don't want to miss a second. Stay close, listen harder, and ask yourself, how well do you really know the person sleeping next to you? The 12th of March, 2023, St. Helens Hospital, Manchester. The first death went unnoticed. Patient 14 Bar, 68-year-old recovering from routine hip surgery, collapsed during afternoon visiting hours. His heart stopped mid-laugh. His daughter still clutching his hand. Doctors blamed a sudden embolism. A tragedy, but not unusual. Then came the second, and the third. By April, Ward 4 had earned a grim nickname, the Departure Lounge. Patients stable one moment would gasp, their pupils shrinking to pinpricks, skin turning clammy grey. Code blue alerts blared weekly. Autopsies revealed nothing. No clots, no infections. Just silence in their veins. Senior staff dismissed it as bad luck, but junior Dr. Ethan Cole, 23, fresh out of med school, kept a ledger. Times, symptoms, patterns. It was the fentanyl. Not the doses, but the vials. Dr. Cole noticed discrepancies during inventoria, missing 10 milligrams here, 20 milligrams there. Small enough to write off until he cross-referenced dates. Every shortage aligned with a death. He pulled security footage. 1:43 a.m., the 3rd of April. A figure in pale blue scrubs drifted between beds, lingering at patient 9C's 4-line. The camera caught her face. Angela, a 34-year-old mother of 2, recently promoted to night shift supervisor. Colleagues called her efficient. Too efficient, one murmured. Dr. Cole confronted his superior. She's been here 10 years. The head surgeon scoffed. You're paranoid. But the deaths didn't stop. On May 1st, 7-year-old Mia Jennings, admitted for asthma, went into cardiac arrest. This time, they revived her. Barely. Toxicology reports came back 48 hours later. Fentanyl levels, 1,200 micrograms. The lab tech stammered. enough to kill a horse. Panic erupted. Police swarmed Ward 4. Angela's locker was searched. Inside, a velvet pouch filled with dried herbs, a handwritten note, 21 souls for ascension, and a photo of her children, their eyes scratched out. A night shift aide finally cracked. "I heard her talking to herself last week," she told detectives, voice shaking. She kept repeating, "Their offerings now." At 3:17 a.m. on May 9th, armed officers stormed Angela's row house. The door swung open to silence. No children's laughter, no television static, just the faint drip of a tap and the metallic tang of blood hanging in the air. Upstairs, a nursery door creaked. Flashlights cut through the dark, illuminating walls smeared with ash and symbols no cop could decipher. But the cribs were empty. Police found her journal hours later. The final entry read, "2 more. They have to be pure." Detective Inspector Clara Hayes noticed it a hollow echo beneath her boots as she paced the nursery. Too hollow. Kneeling, she pried at a warped plank. Nails screeched. Wood splintered. And there it was. A crawl space, reeking of burnt sage and copper. Flashlights pierced the dark, revealing a room never meant to exist. Black candles melted into gnarled stumps. Animal bones, rabbit, crow, maybe cat arranged in a spiral. Walls smeared with dried blood, flaking like old paint, and scrawled in jagged cursive across a crumbling altar. 19 names. Patient 14B, Patient 9C, Mia Jennings. Each scrawl glistened faintly, as if the blood was still fresh. Forensics traced the laptop buried under moth-eaten robes. Browser history. Hundreds of hits to Shadow Veil, a forum for spiritual liberation. Username, Soul Harvest, 21. Her posts began innocently. The 5th of March, 2022. Can rituals protect my children? The 12th of August. How much blood is needed for a binding spell? The 3rd of December. A photo of a handwritten sigil captioned, "Sacrifice sustains power." By January 2023, her tone shifted. The 15th of January. The 19th offering is ready, but the ascension requires purity. 2 more. Detective Hayes stared at the screen. She wasn't killing them, she muttered. She was feeding something. Beneath the altar, they found it a leather-bound journal, pages warped from humidity. Entry dated May 8th. The Dark Mother demands balance. 21 souls, 19 tainted, 2 pure. The children must be cleansed. I bathe them in rosemary and ash, but their light, it resists. Tomorrow, after the moon peaks, I'll make them worthy. Their innocence will be my key. The ascension is near. 2 pages later, a list. Tainted, the 19 patients. Pure, Liam. 7, Evie. Her own children. At 11:03 p.m., forensic teams bagged the journal. Outside, rain hammered the streets. Thena phone rang. Detective Hayes answered. "We've got a hit on her credit card," the voice said. "Gas station CCTV, 2 kids in pajamas, 45 minutes ago." The screen froze on a grainy still. Angela hooded, gripping Liam's wrist. Evie clutched a stuffed rabbit, her eyes wide and glassy. Destination, unknown. But purity has a price. And in the dark, even stars go out. Mrs. Eleanor Price, 82, lived next door. She heard the singing first. "Twinkle, twinkle, little star," but the voice wasn't sweet. It was hollow, Mrs. Price told police. Like someone mimicking a mother. Through thin walls, she caught snippets. Splashing water, the clink of glass bottles, and Liam's timid plea. "Mummy, it burned." Insolence. I almost called someone, she admitted, wringing her hands. But you don't meddle in family business, do you? Forensics combed the trash bin behind the row house, buried under empty takeout containers. 3 crumpled sketches. 1. Liam's, age 7. A stick figure woman with black scribbles for eyes, holding hands with 2 smaller figures. Above them, a red spiral labeled Mummy's Special Star. 2. Evie's, age 4. A bathtub filled with blue wavy lines. Floating inside, a teddy bear with X's for eyes. 3. And then an unknown crude altar with 21 candles. 19 blown out. Detectives found the tub still damp. A film of grey sludge clung to the drain. Lab results identified wolfsbane, hemlock, and Datura stramonium, a hallucinogen nicknamed Devil's Breath. She called it holy water. A social worker revealed, said it had cleansed their sins. Neighbor Malik Carter recalled seeing Angela in her backyard at 3 a.m., boiling herbs in a rusted pot. She was chanting, not English, something older. Responding officers found the husband collapsed in the hallway, claw marks raking his arms. The bathroom door hung ajar. Inside, the tub overflowed with pink-tinged water. Liam floated face up, eyes open, rosemary sprigs tangled in his hair. Evie lay folded over the edge, one hand still gripping her stuffed rabbit. Their skin was pruned, but not from water. Chemical burns. On the mirror, scrawled in lipstick, 21. Ascension achieved. Dr. Fiona Clark, forensic psychiatrist. This wasn't psychosis, it was precision. She calculated doses meticulously. The holy water, a neurotoxin cocktail to induce paralysis, not pain. She wanted them still. But occult historian Dr. Raj Patel disagrees. The number 21 appears in Babylonian star rituals, a gateway to divine power. She didn't see death. She saw transformation. They're not gone. They're brighter now. As paramedics loaded the bodies, a tech spotted Evie's fist, clenched tight, pried open. A crumpled photo of Angela, her face X'd out. On the back, Liam's handwriting. Mummy's making us angels tonight. I don't want to fly. Was it madness? Or did she truly believe sacrificing them would claw her way to godhood? The jury would decide, but first, they'd have to survive her testimony. The air smelled of lemon polish and dread. Journalists packed the gallery, pens poised. Survivors sat stiffly in the front row, their faces pale, hands clasped, like they were praying to a god who'd already abandoned them. And at the center of it all, Angela, shackled but eerily calm, her eyes fixed on the ceiling as if reading invisible text written in the crack. The first witness was Mia Jennings, now 8 years old. She shuffled to the stand in a star-patterned dress, one arm cradling a teddy bear missing an eye. The prosecutor's voice softened. "Mia, can you tell us what happened that night?" Mia's breath hitched. "The lady with the needle, she said I'd dream of stars, but I only saw dark." The defense attorney cut in. "Objection. Leading the witness." "Overruled," Judge Carlisle snapped. "The child is describing her lived experience." Angela smirked, her lips peeling back to reveal teeth too white, too sharp. She leaned toward her lawyer, whispering loud enough for the mic to catch. "They'll never understand." The gallery erupted. Judge Carlisle's gavel cracked like gunfire. Margaret Cole, 71, widow of patient 14B, took the stand next. Her voice trembled but never broke. "You took my Arthur. Smiled while you did it. I saw you through the ICU window. You were humming as he choked." The prosecutor displayed security footage. Angela adjusting Arthur's foreline, her face serene, lips moving in a silent chant. "Is this you?" the prosecutor demanded. Angela tilted her head, bird-like. "That's my body, but I wasn't there." The jury exchanged glances. One member, a school teacher, dug her nails into her palms until they bled. Dr. Alistair Voss, forensic psychologist, dissected her mind like a lab specimen. This wasn't psychosis, it was ritualized compartmentalization. She reframed guilt as destiny. Killing wasn't murder, it was curation. He cited her journal, 21 souls, 19 to clean the path, 2 to walk it. The pure social children were the final offering, Voss explained. Not random, calculated. She believed their innocence would amplify her power. The defense fired back. Could this delusion stem from trauma, a fractured psyche? Voss smirked. Delusion implies a break from reality. She rewrote reality, turned herself into a god. Angela chuckled a dry, papery sound. The jury foreman gagged into a trash can. Day 14 of the trial. The prosecution called inmate number DL negative 4492. Marla Torres, 34. A snitch serving 15 years for torching her husband's car. Torres slouched into the stand, her orange jumpsuit hanging loose. She promised me protection, she sneered, jerking a thumb at Angela. Said she'd hex my ex if I smuggled her a blade. Told me to bring hair from his pillow. Weird bitch even drew a symbol on my hand, said it'd hold his soul. Torres lifted her palm. A scarred sigilla spiral with jagged arms matched the altar carvings from her home. The prosecutor displayed photos. This matches the symbol found in her ritual room, correct? Yeah, Torres spat. Same one she carved on her cell wall, said it was a gate. Angela leaned forward, chains clinking. You used the wrong blood, she hissed. Dogs won't work. The judge called a recess. The jury debated for 11 hours. Arguments turned visceral. She's sick, a mechanic shouted. Needs help, not a cage. Sick? The schoolteacher snapped. She bathed her kids in poison. You call that sick? In the end, they agreed on one word, guilty. 21 life sentences, one for each soul. Angela showed no reaction, no tears, no smirk. Just a vacant stare, as if she'd already left her body behind. 3 weeks later, at 3:15 a.m., a guard making rounds noticed her cell was cold, not chilly, Arctic. Angela lay rigid on her cot, eyes open, lips blue. No marks, no pills, no struggle. Just a single symbol carved into the wall above her spiral with 21 jagged arms. The same symbol from Evie's drawing. Code black. No pulse, but we've got movement in the walls. Footage from the security camera showed nothing at first, just her body, still as stone. Then, at the edge of the frame, the shadows rippled. Something slithered, quick and serpentine, behind the bricks. Mummy's waiting. The warden ordered the cells sealed, demolished. But the next morning, workers arrived to find the symbol glowing faintly, the concrete around it hot to the touch. Was it suicide? A hoax? Or did the ascension succeed? The air smelled of mildew and iodine. Forensic theologian Dr. Eleanor Graves swept her flashlight over the peeling walls of Ward 4. She didn't choose them at random, she muttered, pausing at bed 9C. Look. Etched into the bed frame, a tiny spiral identical to the symbol in Angela's cell. Beneath it, a date, the 12th of March, 2023, the day patient 14B died. Every victim had this mark, Graves said. Carved into their charts, 4 stands, even their pillows. They weren't patients, they were offerings, asterisk. Survivor Margaret Cole's voice crackled over a recorded interview. Arthur's birthday was the 12th of March, the day he left. A pattern emerged. Patient 14B, born on a lunar eclipse. Patient 9C, a retired midwife who delivered 21 babies. Mia Jennings, admitted on the spring equinox. They were rituals, Graves concluded. Each death aligned with celestial events. She wasn't killing. She was harvesting asterisk. Angela's journal confirmed it. The Dark Mother feeds on threshold's birth, death, twilight. I am her gardener. She miscalculated. The 21st soul, it wasn't her kids, it was hers. You can't give what you've already sold. The ritual backfired, and whatever she woke up, it's still hungry. Can you hear it? The buzzing? It's not. Silence. Alive in the walls. Urban explorers broke into St. Helens' abandoned wing in January 2024. Their footage, leaked on Reddit, shows 043. A shadow darting behind a curtain, too tall to be human. 112. A child's handprint materializing on a dusty bag. 230. A voice, warped but familiar, humming. Twinkle, twinkle. The clip ends with the camera falling. A figure in pale blue scrubs steps into frame Angela's face, half rotten, lips peeling into a smile. Lingering questions. 21. Why 21? Babylonian star map site 21 as the number of dissolution, a bridge between realms. 2. The husband's fate. He vanished after the trial. His last text, she's in the vents. 3. The symbol's origin. Historians traced it to a 14th century cult that worshipped a deity called the Mother of Thresholds. Their motto, 21 steps to godhood. Night guards at Manchester Royal Infirmary report, screams echoing from empty room. It's not human, one insisted. It sounds like something learning to speak. On the 29th of February, a janitor found 21 candles arranged in a spiral inside the morgue. All lit, all blood red. Mummy's home. Mummy's home. Mummy's home. Dr. Graves returned to the abandoned wing last week. Her recorder captured this, the symbol it's growing, rustling, a wet organic crunch, like roots. Oh God, it's static, not a gate, it's a nest. We're almost ready. Come see. To our loyal subscribers, new and old, thank you. You followed us into the abyss, where the line between angel and monster dissolves. Angela's TikTok feed showed picnics, bedtime stories, a mother's love. But in the shadows, rotting floorboards, blood-soaked symbols, a crib drenched in poison. Human duality isn't rare, it's inevitable. We all wear masks. But what happens when the mask fuses to the flesh? When evil isn't a stranger, but the woman who tucks you in at night? Her final video, posted hours before the killings, haunts me. Mommy loves you to the moon and back. She coos, smoothing Liam's hair. But pause it. Freeze the frame, look at her eyes. Black, hollow, hungry. Was she possessed? A vessel for some ancient darkness? Or just a liar who chose cruelty because it thrilled her? You decide. But before you go, smash that like button. Share this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Because monsters don't hide under beds. They hide in plain sight. And this channel? We expose them. Ring the bell, never miss a story that claws at the veil between sanity and sin. And remember, the next time someone says, "Trust me," ask yourself, what's buried in their floorboards?